Over the last 4 years, I've been to a number of locations which aren't necessarily on your typical tourist trail, to name but a few. Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan.
So basically you just walk down the street screaming Balachev, taxi, da.
Real de Catorce, Mexico.
I'm the only one in this ghost town in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of Mexico, in the desert.
And Yogyakarta, Indonesia.
Look at me now, I look like Kenny out of South Park.
Having now spent many months in Serbia this year, I hadn't set foot outside of the capital city, Belgrade, until now. Over the next couple of videos, we'll be exploring Serbia's third largest city, Niš. A city with unrivaled history and surprising scenery. How does Niš differ from Belgrade, and what can it offer you as an alternative destination in the Balkans? Let's find out! Good morning. Yes, it is the morning. It's about 6:30 AM and this is Niš. Just look at it. I'm extremely blessed right now because I'm on the 10th floor of an ex-military building, and who knew that Serbia had such amazing views. Just look at all the terracotta roofed buildings going up the hillside, and down here you've got a nice park, a lovely green injection in an otherwise concrete jungle. As I said, Niš is the third largest city in Serbia after Belgrade and Novi Sad, and I'm completely blown away. Wowzers. Apologies for being blinded by the sun, but tough. Oh yeah, I had to come inside because it's absolutely baking today. It must be about 35 degrees, really hot. And before we get started, I just want to clarify that this is the first video of probably maybe 2 or 3 from Niš, I'm not sure. So if you're from Niš or from Serbia in general, you might be expecting to see certain things in this video that don't appear, but don't worry, more than likely they will appear in subsequent videos. I want to have a look around today and just have a bit of a walk around and explore. I've been here for about a week, so maybe I want to show you some of the bits that I've seen so far, have some food, look at a bit of the history, things like that. And also the main thing about this, I think, is the fact that I'm guilty of this. We come to Serbia, we only go to Belgrade, so I want to show you another option in Serbia in relation to travel. Let's go! So we're down the main shopping street, lovely blue skies behind me, lovely. And you'll notice I'm wearing a mask for the first time in a video, well, around my neck anyway. As of last Monday, I think it was, by law in Serbia, in like shopping malls, public transport, you have to wear one. And I did mention in a Belgrade video about kind of the lack of compliance when I was in Belgrade in relation to masks and social distancing, things like that. There does seem to be a bit more focus on it now. There are a lot of protests going on at the moment in Belgrade around the president reinforcing curfew, things like that. We'll glaze over that for a moment. Let's have a look around the shopping area. It kind of feels like a smaller version of Nez Mihalova in Belgrade. Yeah, it's just the same on a smaller scale. All these restaurants, al fresco dining as always, shops everywhere, and pedestrianised. It's all very nice. There's a monument here, I guess it's to do with the First World War, 1915. And I must say, especially on the back of the last video with Igor, I realised that when I was at school, I didn't really know much about or learn much about the First World War. It was all about the Second World War. So Serbia is definitely a place to come if you want to learn a bit more about that part of European history, because it's something that it wasn't really covered for me at school. Niš is on the banks of the river Nishava, and it's really nice. It's really beautiful. You've got all these other bridges in the distance, the current going along, it's all very peaceful. I'm under a bridge right now that there's construction work going on, hence why I'm not showing you the bridge. But there's a lot of like restaurants on the riverbank. Once again, al fresco dining, lovely. And we're going to our first stop, which is literally just behind me, history in Niš is monumental. So I'm going to try my best not to say Belgrade Fortress. We've been there. This is Niš Fortress. And as with Belgrade Fortress, there's a lot of history in terms of where it comes from, and I believe it was built on the site of a Roman fort. There's Byzantine and Ottoman history here. This was a baths, like a thermal bath. Bath? I don't know. Let's have a look. Obviously it doesn't look like much now, but I think it was excavated in the 50s, 1950s. And I think now it's like a, at least it was, like a bar, because there's a sign down there, amnesia. This is a Byzantine street from the 5th or 6th century, excavated in 1962. I'm just the fountain of information today. You've got these pillars. Apparently there was a church, and it stretched about 500 metres, I believe. Yeah, I just read it all down there. The building next to it is a, what was a Turkish shrine, but it became a mosque in the 1700s. Oh, let's get some lighting. There we go. Lovely. I might be going to Turkey soon, by the way. So we'll be learning more about Turkey in the future, hopefully. This building was a building used for storage of gunpowder and ammunition in the 1700s, I think it was. Let's see if we can have a look inside. Yeah, clearly now it's just a hellhole full of crap and garbage and trees, apparently. But the walls, this central room, the walls are a metre thick. And these things, I think there are 12 of these holes in the wall that were used for, like, defence. I guess maybe people would shoot out of the holes or something, I don't know. Okay, oh, maybe these are the holes I was talking about. Yeah, look, metre thick, these walls. Now full of cobwebs. Jesus, I'm sweaty. I don't know if I'm looking at the lens, by the way, but yeah, down here is just basically nothing. It's just old wine bottles, dead end. It feels like I'm in the mines. Oh, there's like stone. I think it's sandstone or something, the walls, it said. But yeah, Jesus, it's hot. Alright, time to go back to civilization. Just as I let the noddy bus go past, there's a sentence I've never said before, another bus is coming with a smiley face on the front. That's the thing about these fortress park areas, a bit like in Belgrade, it's kind of a family recreational area as well as a historical location. Thank you. And I wanted to highlight something about, oh God, well, I've let the other bus go past now. I wanted to highlight something about masks. I'm going to be honest, I don't wear my mask all the time. I think it's not because I don't think it's necessary, it's because I forget, to be honest with you. You know, being a Westerner, I'm not used to wearing one all the time. If I was in Japan, I spent a lot of time in Japan. It's kind of second nature, if you know what I mean. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's second nature. The children are gone now. And what are your thoughts? Are you someone that follows these guidelines? Do you remember to wear a mask? Or are you a Corona Karen that complains that you can't breathe when you wear a mask? Newsflash, I can breathe. It's like 35 degrees. I'm still alive. I haven't keeled over. And what I like about these ones is you can press them against your nose, so it's kind of more secure. And it doesn't steam my glasses up. I think the problem is people have is they wear those pieces of fabric, like the one I had in Belarus, where you cannot breathe. And yeah, it's sweaty. Yeah, it's annoying. But newsflash, this is 2020. I want some food. Yeah, it's food time. So this area is slightly touristy. There's a Caribbean pizza on the floor, which I must admit was my guilty pleasure in Belgrade. And there are multiple options when it comes to food in Niš. There's pizza, there's a bakery next door with burek. But the thing I will say that I've learnt in Niš, and actually in Serbia itself, is about not just going to the touristy places, because generally they are a disappointment, in my opinion. I had that yesterday with some Pljeskavica. So we're going to go somewhere else, close to the bus station. So we're near the bus station. There is a white zastava, lovely. And the place I'm looking for is just up here, I believe. Yep, you've got to go through this mercado to get there. Yeah, I think it's just up that way. But yeah, what's in the market? We got eggs, we got daily household items, lovely. clothing, the usual sort of stuff, fruit and vegetables over there, the usual sort of stuff you'll find in these markets in Serbia. The smell in these markets is divine, particularly from like those chilies there. Absolutely stunning. I must admit, chilies are another guilty pleasure of mine. You know, like a big jar of them, you just eat them out the jar. Beautiful. Okay, we're outside the bus station. It took me a while to find the place again, but I remember what it is. It's Extra Pljeskavica. I can't say the rest of it, but you know what I mean. Dobar dan, kako ste? Jedan pljeskavica malo, molimo vas.
Izvolite.
160.
I mandalo je polo sata od 10 minuta. Ajmo, izvolite.
Nebec? And the chili?
Pola sata je držao predavanje.
Za malo pjekovine.
Right, so because I'm totally classy, I'm eating a burger on the floor outside a bus station. And as I said, sometimes I can be quite disappointed, or underwhelmed is probably the word, in terms of food in Serbia, which is a shocker, I know, because 95% of the time it's great, but there are some times where it's just slightly average. I had it with cevapi in Belgrade, and I had it with Pljeskavica yesterday, but this place, look, it's so small, it's beautiful. It's just outside the bus station, as I said about a million times, and it feels really authentic. The bread I had the other day was a proper bun. This is not a proper bun, it's just like a one from a supermarket, I think, or bakery, but I've got a small one. That's a lesson to learn with Pljeskavica, because a huge one could result in your death. Right, so this Pljeskavica is perfect for me. There are no big lumps of onion, there are no big lumps of fat or cheese. It's just right. Just the right size. I have nebes and chili on the top. I know a lot of people say you should pile it up with condiments and salad. I don't like salad, I don't like vegetables. I'm quite happy with whatever, and chili. Yeah, watch my other Pljeskavica video if you want to know more about Pljeskavica. Basically a big burger originating in the area. You also get it like on a plate without the bun. I think that's more expensive. It's like the bigger one as well, but this is just right for like a lunch break, you know. This is what I like about coming out of capital cities finally. You know, you can come to places like this that are much more local. You can have a cigarette with the older guys behind me drinking beers and reading newspapers outside a market. It's awesome. And you'll notice that Pljeskavica place, I like to use my basic terrible Serbian. Belgrade, you wouldn't necessarily have to do that because there's more English spoken in Belgrade. As with any country, the capital city is generally more English speaking. So you do have to make an effort. I quite enjoy it actually. You feel much more like a local. I must say, it's nice because it's the summer now and I'm getting a bit of colour on my skin. Yeah, the days of living in Antarctica are over. First impressions wise with Niš, I really like it. A lot of people said to me, oh, you only need a couple of days here to see the things to do and stuff, and yeah, that's probably true if I wasn't working and stuff, but the fact is I am, so I do need to spend longer here, and that's great because it kind of gives me the chance to get to know the place a bit more. And the thing I would say about Niš is it has kind of a Mexico-esque feel in relation to like a magic town, in that you come out of a big city, come to somewhere smaller, and although it is a city, it does kind of have a slightly more rural feel. I went to a place yesterday with all these abandoned buildings and like industrial buildings that are all dilapidated and falling down. You know, I could go inside that building, it was really cool. Maybe it was some sort of farm or something, and it did feel like a bit of a farming area. A lot of the buildings around there, it's weird because some of them are very much modern and gated developments, things like that, but the ones over the road or right next door are half demolished. Is that because of the bombings in 1999? I understand Niš was also victim to those as well as Belgrade and other areas. But all in all, my first impressions of Niš are great, and there's a lot more to explore in upcoming videos. This street feels like a smaller version of Skadalia in Belgrade. It's like, what's it called, cobblestone ground or whatever. So yeah, perhaps this could be a place for a Saturday night food and drink video. I'm just sitting now on like this gold sort of table with these statues and a dog. It's very hot, it's boiling. That's one of the perils of filming YouTube videos in the summer. Another one is that I can't see anything. I'm blinded right now. I don't know what I'm looking at. And I wanted to say that I cannot believe I've that's American English, got this far into this video without mentioning the fact that Constantinople the Great, the Roman Emperor, was born in Niš. And also in Niš there are two other, I'm not going to say attractions because they're not attractions, it's very much history related in terms of learning. There's the Skull Tower, which is relating to the attempt to overthrow the Ottoman Empire, and also the first Yugoslavian Nazi concentration camp. So there's a lot more to learn in Niš than what we've just seen today. It's just first impressions, having a look around, having some Pljeskavica with a mask on, sweating like a Karen. So yeah, as I said, this is the first video of many from Niš, so let me know in the comments what other things that I haven't mentioned or done in this video that I should do if you've been here. Fantastic. I'm going to go home now because I'm about to pass out from sunstroke. Fantastic. There will be a blog post probably coming after I've done all the Niš videos, so there might not be one solely for this video. You'll be able to find the link to my website down in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Catch you later.